That said, we'll just jump right on into the second match, Miniorek versus skrewwl00se. We do have the draft available here. Give me one moment. Pull that up. We see Miniorek choosing the places you'll go, while skrewwl00se chooses house party. As skrewwl00se bans from his own venue set here, as well as Miniorek banning from that same set. So we won't see too much of house party this time around. We have the high-rise 3 of 5 ban and a veranda 5 of 8 ban, so not many 5 of 8s to be seen around here, but we still do have the library one.
Yeah, absolutely. And skrewwl00se versus Miniorek. I don't know. This is gonna be fun. These two guys are something.
Yeah, they are both very strong players. Screw has started off the bracket stage by sweeping Yeesh 7-0. So that's quite impressive.
Oh, yes.
It's quite impressive to sweep anybody.
Literally anybody, if you say that, it's impressive.
Yeah, it's quite impressive to sweep pretty much anybody in the community. 7-0 is a difficult thing to pull off just because of the difficulty in converting every single game of SpyParty in a set. But against Yeesh in particular, that's just brutal. And Screw has kind of just been coasting. Oh, well, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say coasting, because last match against Damp Squib was a little close. Screw actually was down 6-4 going into the last venue of regular time and manages to clutch it out to go to draw and then wins in overtime. Just a little bit close. So maybe not coasting, but has actually made it all the way here to quarterfinals against Miniorek and staking a claim with the top 4. Miniorek is going to be doing the same thing here. Had a bit of a different path. In fact, had their own sweep against Thunderlator in the round of 32. So both of these players have actually had a sweep so far this tournament.
Yeah, it's going to be good stuff, and it looks like we're going to be opening up the proceedings at Terrace, any 3 of 6, which is certainly an interesting place to be starting out. We'll see how this goes off with skrewwl00se on the spy, Miniorek on the sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, and Terrace is an interesting one because it is a 3 of X venue that has a lot of kind of behavioral tendencies, but out of all of them, this is the one where you can get the most guaranteed information as the sniper, I think. Just because the double agent is known, it's really kind of difficult for AIs to complete statues, and the bar purloin is one of your main ways of finishing as a spy. So paying close attention to that can give a lot of information away to the sniper.
34% on the first flirt, and the contact coming off. Highlights rather than lowlights being prioritized here by Miniorek, so that's probably the way to do it on this venue. You usually get some pretty powerful contacts, but you need to be able to pay attention to who could have a real one.
Yeah, highlighting for real on Terrace is pretty common, but we actually see skrewwl00se giving up a lowlight onto Smallman to give everyone in the party that real contact, and thus losing the highlight that he once had. That's, I think, a really heads-up play. Thinks, alright, this is a good trade to make. Sari's already a lowlight. She was out for the first one, so it's only one more lowlight that I'm allowing, and now everyone is in that pool.
Yeah, that's a really big play. Having the double agent switch conversations shortly after the first contact is a big opportunity, and he absolutely took it. 85% now on the flirt. That ambassador was just begging for something for a while there, but skrewwl00se did not take the bait, takes a delegate instead. And in conversation once again with the seduction target, looking to finish up the flirt, and maybe, just maybe, send the twin to the bar.
Yeah, twin's a highlight. I'm not actually sure why, since it's no longer highlighting. Not highlighting for bar, not highlighting for contact anymore. Actually, no, we do see highlights for bar. We see a highlight on rocker here. Maybe it's for the print that was on bar just now?
Could be.
Not exactly
Well,
sure.
now that he's not highlighting for real contact anymore, it'll be interesting to see what he does with his lights. It looks like it might indeed be bar highlights. If so, he missed skrewwl00se, but the seduce is, at this point, complete.
Yeah, we haven't sent off this delegate so far, which means it's probably going to time out.
Yeah, I don't think he's going for... Yep, there goes the delegate. Didn't wind up doing anything with it. But 40 seconds left to play. There's still a little bit of time, but not nearly as much as you'd like to see. Is he going to try to frame somebody here?
He did come from the same conversation that Rocker was in, and she did pick up a drink earlier, but no, it's just another delegate option.
All right, well, 25 seconds. Possible bug does get the bug on the way out. I think it was visible, and indeed it was. Miniorek takes the shot, and game number 1.
Yeah, the bug does indeed happen, doesn't even take, so it's the worst of both worlds. You're not even in Mission Win Town Countdown, and even if you were, you're getting shot anyways. It was a pretty clear bug from skrewwl00se. So, a good shot from Miniorek to take the first game of the set.
Miniorek now stepping into the spy side of things versus skrewwl00se's sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah. Playing as Irish, which all around pretty good character.
Oh my god, look at this bar.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough. You could, skrewwl00se looking very, very closely to make sure no one's bugging and all that chaos. But even then, you're going to have a lot of people looking to get a purloin here. And Duke picks up a fingerprint. So Miniorek, obviously, the fact that Duke is Miniorek's ST makes this print stick out much, much more. Even as a spy, you're going to be wanting to track pretty much everyone's prints on Terrace, but having it be Duke just makes it guarantee that Miniorek knows that Duke has this and maybe has some idea of framing Duke later on.
Interesting choice of conversation. Kind of goes out into nowhere's land here.
Yeah, it doesn't join with the double agent, and of course our ST is at statues, so no flirts happening there. We do see the bar highlights coming out from skrewwl00se, just keeping track of where these purloins are going, where they could be coming from. We'll see if they get knocked back down. Screw's usually pretty good about that once the delegate, is not possible to do anymore. But yeah, slow from Miniorek here.
Very much so, yes. Well, here's the first flirt.
Instant
and might
talk in
be
this
opening
conversation.
up the bar looking for a print off of a drink, but we still have to get rid of this drink first.
Yeah, delegate timer does indeed expire, and just as it does, we see skrewwl00se neutralite all 3 of those bar highlights. Very nicely done, very disciplined from Skrew. Not going to be crediting anyone with delegate that could not have done it. In this case, of course, it means neutralizing the spy, but in general, having that habit and doing it well is very good for the sniper.
51% on the flirt, and looks like we're just gonna hang out here for a while and see if we can pick up that 2 flirt on the timer. Minute and 20 seconds to play. The cooldown happens, but the seduction target steps away before we get a chance to capitalize. And the timer is not looking great. Minute and 10 left to play. We don't have the contact yet. We only have half the flirt. There's some problems here.
Yeah, there are definitely problems, but it is Terrace. You have ways to finish. You might need to hit the green test on the second flirt, though, if you want to have any realistic ways. Here we go, stepping in next to our ST. Can we hit the green test? Is a big question here.
Yes, we can. That's big. That might have given Miniorek a way back into this game.
Definitely a way
38
back
seconds
in.
to play, but it's not looking good still.
I mean, getting the contact, now we just have that, 30 seconds to find one more mission, but there are 3 lowlights available, which is just so much for Terrace. Usually, Skrew got 2 lowlights last game after having
And
2 contacts.
Lowlighting for fake as well. Knows there's no time left to be doing shenaniganry like that, so there's 4 people left. 5 seconds on the clock. There's no way he's going to go for the desperation crash bug, and immediately the shot comes off. skrewwl00se answers back, and it's 1-1.
Yeah. Not much to say about that. 2 spies shot after 2 questionable quality bugs. That's terrorist sometimes. And moving on to the next one, 1-1, going into Redwoods here.
Oh, Redwoods.
I love Redwoods.
Yeah. All right. Luckily, both of these players are a lot better at this venue than I am, as skrewwl00se is starting things out on the spy side. Miniorek on the sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Tobo, have you ever played Redwoods?
I have, yes. It's too hard. I don't like it.
Because I was about to say, it's been a while since I've seen you playing the game, so...
I don't play very much. I find it's stressful.
That it can be, but we are always glad to have you here casting, even if we don't play as much.
51% on the first flirt, and blue book in hand. So this could be pretty quick for skrewwl00se, all things considered.
Yeah, if we don't know where this book came from Miniorek, that could be an issue. But the thing is with Redwoods is that a lot of the time, if you as a sniper don't know where it came from, you can kind of assume it came from blue because, you know, the other 2 bookcases have statues attached, so you're going to have a much higher visibility rate on those and be paying much more attention to who goes to those 2 front sets. So taking a book out of those is going to be very unlikely to be missed, so having an unknown book, probably blue.
Attempted drive-by bug didn't take, by the way, but we are able to get the flirt finished in 2, so that's always nice to see. And it looks like Miniorek didn't get any eyes on the arm swing, so yeah, no harm, no foul. And into conversation with the double agent for the contact.
It's pretty good contact, except for the fact that we're the only one in with the real DA. Luckily, there is a large contact behind us that has an SDA in it. So we're not going to pick up any undue suspicion for that. The main thing here is if this book is kind of never seen, never really, you know, if Miniorek never really acknowledges that this book exists, because this could be Screw picking up, you know, 2 inspects and a game-winning microfilm here. This highlight could easily just be for the inspects, or it could be for microfilm's credit. You know, it's hard to say when you're watching Redwoods like this whether the sniper knows or not.
So at this point, we've got 3 missions done and 2 inspects now that the microfilm transfer has gone down. Still a minute and 15 left to play is tons of time to work with. 2 lowlights is all that got taken from the contact. So skrewwl00se is actually in a reasonably good spot here, but it's gonna be tricky trying to get another statue visit at this point. And what other mission are we going to be pulling off here? We don't have a fingerprint. Purloins are scary. The only other option really is a bug at this point.
Yeah, I think we might go to the statue
No,
and
it's
dare
going to be
Miniorek to
statues.
shoot us, because we are one of multiple highlights, and in fact, Salmon's also going to a statue right now, so that could really split Miniorek's attention. And also, look at this, Smallman's nearby the ambassador, so it's yet another thing to split Miniorek's attention while Screw is finishing off these statues, and I don't think he's going to take the shot.
He doesn't take the shot indeed. skrewwl00se is able to get the spy win out of it, and it doesn't even look like Miniorek was ever really considering pulling the trigger on that. Just a well-played game from skrewwl00se puts him up by 1.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty clear that, you know, me never really knew that the book was in Screw's hands there and never credited that microfilm, because if he had, I think you have to take that shot, but if you don't know the microfilms happened, and there are so many things happening at the end of this game to take up your attention with Salmon and Smallman and even Plane Twin at the end here at Green Bookshelves, there's way too many directions that your potential bullet is pulled in to find the right shot. And no shot indeed comes off. And skrewwl00se is going to go up 2-1. Now needs to snipe on Redwoods to keep it, you know, to keep an advantage here.
Let's see how that turns out for them in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
starting off pretty early here at green books. It's gonna get us an inspect, but we're not even gonna pick up this book. It's a little bit of a cheese thing you can do on redwoods because you don't actually have to open into a scene.
Okay, well, Skrewwl00se is not having it.
Yeah, so this is a little bit of a unique thing for redwoods in that you don't actually have to pick anything up to get an inspect on these book pads here. So Miniorek stops in at these green books, gets the single inspect, and just tries to bail before ever being seen there. But Skrewwl00se acknowledges Miniorek at these books, realizes, hey, wait, you need to pick something up, this is illegal, and just takes that shot just immediately and just cements that lead. Just it's already in the books.
Awesome.
3-1.
It's 3-1. And speaking of books, library is the next venue to play. We're going to have Skrewwl00se on the spy side of library and a 5 of 8 with Miniorek on the sniper side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
All right.
Quick little stop in at windows to see where the seduction target winds up before we give chase.
Yeah, that is a pretty typical spy idea, is you want to see where your ST lands before you go anywhere committal. And committal, these bookshelves are indeed, as we saw last time, when you go to a bookshelf pad, you have to pick something up. Oh, no, but Screw gets bailed on.
It was a green test, too, but seduction target steps away, so no early flirt for Skrewwl00se, and no early book, either.
Yeah, and now we're sitting on 0 progress. Kind of a significant chunk of time into the game, of course. 4 minutes, plenty of time, but every second that ticks away with nothing happening for Skrewwl00se is just, you know, another second he's going to have to deal with later on in the time crunch.
Yeah, this is a big venue, so the early time ad is nice to see, especially on the green test. But
Screw heard me.
now that people are coming back to bookcase, this time we flirt before we pick up the book, because we're not letting that happen again.
This time it's not actually necessary because we know Reels is returning and can't leave with the book, surprising us. But yeah, this is why you flirt before. We might go for a bug here.
Oh, there's the bug! Oh, it doesn't take! It looked so good, but just a little bit too far away. The bounce probably didn't help anything, but that could have been a big swing for Skrewwl00se. Unfortunately, does not take.
Yeah, no bugs here for Skrewwl00se today, and that means we are still stuck in this kind of low mission progress zone we've been in. Even with the time ad, it's just a pretty significant amount of time off the clock. You know, 34% flirt is something that other games you'll see done in the first, like, 2 seconds. Swap!
Oh, it's an early green swap with 3 minutes left to play. Picks up 1 inspect while we're there, but just 1 cycles it and down it goes. Skrewwl00se stepping away. I don't know if Miniorek is going to be on top of this, because it's a really awkward time for a statue swap to happen, but we'll see how he's able to play this so far. There's the swap coming off. He does get a good look at it, and here come the lowlights.
Yeah, this is going to be really big. I think we're going to see lowlights on pretty much everyone in this party. Maybe we'll limit it to, you know, keeping statue visitors alive. But no, look at this. It goes down even further.
No, it's down to 2.
It's down to 2. Alice is still high lit, but...
No, apparently down to 3, but I think he just didn't notice Alice.
Yeah, but this looks awful. Awful for Skrewwl00se.
Yeah, basically the only path forward at this point is getting the twin shot.
Yeah.
Like, Alice has been neutral lit. He's pretty sure it wasn't Alice, but he's not certain it wasn't Alice. This is just not good for Skrewwl00se.
No, indeed. Counterintuitively, I think that swap has a higher chance of working if it's a white test. Because as a sniper, you're playing a lot of games, you kind of get to a point where if there's... The shot! No!
Oh my god! Skrewwl00se with the banana split catches Miniorek sleeping. Miniorek tries to take the shot, but because of the step away, winds up on the wrong target. That's brutal.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And as Miniorek, the question is, do you think that Screw is done here? Because even if you do, you still have 10 seconds to take this shot. I mean, if you credit the bug from earlier, then you can certainly see Screw being at 5 missions here. So, but it's just...
Well, if you just don't expect them to move, you think they're standing still in conversation, and that is the moment where you want to shoot somebody, when they're not moving. But then they started moving.
Yeah, and that's the issue with not having a clear background on your shot, but that's so tragic for Mini, taking, what would have been the correct shot, but Miniorek not getting the win out of it. Oh, jeez. That's so brutal. And I was gonna go into this tangent about how that swap might have worked better if it was a white test, because, snipers kind of know the swap call timings for AIs, and if an AI goes to that statue soon after, and you kind of look for it more, but it doesn't matter anymore. Screw just gets the win.
Yeah. Alright. Well, Miniorek on the spy, I think kind of has to win this game, or else it's going to be too far behind and also too much tilt. So we'll see what happens if Skrewwl00se can basically lock it up here in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Oh, man, and it's the library spy, too, of all the places to drop that game. It's... Oh, no. Miniorek stepping straight into center statues here. Maybe trying to go for a cheeky rush. That's certainly something I know I do when I'm a little bit tilted. I just like to get missions done and say, I'm gonna play the game really fast. But Miniorek, I think, playing a little bit slower. Not picking. Okay, there's the highlight. Never mind.
Yeah, it certainly feels good to be getting stuff done. So it can be a way to untilt yourself, just going in and just doing a lot of stuff, but also it's often not conducive to winning the game.
Oh no, Tobo. We might have a bug credit. The ambassador pathed by us while Screw wasn't looking.
Well,
and that could be a bug
might
credit.
be able to get an actual bug as the ambassador steps away here. We're in a pretty good swell, not anymore.
Yeah, ambassador's left us.
I'm disappointed.
It's just, how do you recover from that last game? You have to just completely put it out of your mind, right? You have to solidify. And
it's so hard to do, but you've gotta. It's the only way forward, really.
And just the pressure is on now for Miniorek, because if you won that game, you'd be in a possibility to tie the set back up right here. But now, it's a white test. It's a white test, and the shot just comes off. Oh, God. Miniorek down 5-1 in the first 3 venues. Maybe it should be 4-2.
No fault of his own, really.
Maybe it should be 4-2. But now it's Modern, and Modern is certainly a place where you can find some kind of way back into the set, right? It's 4 of 8 now. It's not this complete sniper-biased venue as it was on 5 of 8. There's plenty of opportunity here, but it's just so easy to be tilted after those 2 games. You hit the white purloin. It just feels bad. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah.
And so Skrewwl00se...
There's a lot of feels bad right now for Miniorek, but...
Yeah, gotta just reset, right?
Skrewwl00se got a gift and is absolutely taking advantage of it. Let's see if he can continue to do so on Modern any 4 of 8 in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
All right.
Oh boy.
Miniorek waving the laser around. I think showing off the mental state a little bit after those last 2 games.
skrewwl00se starting things out at blue bookcase, which is not super common, especially when there's no seduction target at the bookcase with you. But book goes right back down where it came from, and into the bar we go for... Well, there's still a lot of people in line, but we're getting a flirt while we're here for 30%, so that's something at least.
Yeah, and I imagine we'll pick up the highlight along with all of these other bar visitors that have gone here in this early rush. That's one of the big decisions that a lot of snipers have to make on Modern is, do you highlight for bar or do you highlight for statues? Especially if, you would usually just straight highlight for statues on any other venue. Sometimes when that bar is really, really pumping, you have to switch out to something else.
Yeah, with a start like that, you've almost gotta highlight for bar, but skrewwl00se did not get highlight for bar, and is delegating as well. So that's great.
Yeah, that's surprising that we didn't get highlight for the bar. Maybe instead the highlights were like flirt pairs because of the close bar.
May never know, but also this is not good for Miniorek.
Yeah, it's not good if Mini doesn't, is relying on these lights, right? If Mini has to rely on these lights to narrow down the party after this purloin comes off, this is going to be trouble. Of course, it's not guaranteed. If you have to rely on
these lights, it's going to be disastrous. It's going to be trouble either way. There's the purloin. No reaction as of yet. Green flirt brings us up to 77%.
No reaction from Mini
Still
here.
No reaction.
Some neutral lights on bar visitors, but the list is already gone.
Oh,
here,
I think now he sees it.
We've seen it.
Here comes the reactions. It's bad. Kind of swinging around, trying to make as much of this as he possibly can. Doesn't get a ton of low lights, but is up to 5. There's 6 now, so he's getting something on the back of this at least. It wasn't completely in vain.
Yes.
Yeah, also didn't low light skrewwl00se, so that is huge.
Yeah, the most important part of this low lighting process is not how many you get, but how accurate they are. That needs to be 100%, or else you're in deep waters here. But Miniorek manages to not fall into the trap. We do have the red book in hand now. A microfilm relatively clean, a purloin relatively clean, so we do have this kind of option to go contact into microfilm return as our finish. That would be a bit of a unique one, I think. We'll see if we can get away with it. Green test on the contact rather. 3 low lights, I think, available.
Gonna let off a little bit more. Highlights for real. Could be a big way back into this, but
Smallman and Rocket get brought back.
Necessarily wanted, which is fine. Also, flirt got done at red bookcase while we were there, so that's nice to see. Red book in hand. We've got 3 missions at this point. If this gets dropped in blue or green without Miniorek being on top of things, that's the game.
Yeah, it would be. But we are that highlight. It would not surprise me if Miniorek knew where this book is from. And we did see that Miniorek playing it actually quite safe. Bring back some lowlights that were in for the real contact here, just saying, look, maybe I was wrong, and having that humility. skrewwl00se now into the blue bookcase. Does Miniorek know where this book is from?
It doesn't look like he does. I think Miniorek...
Oh, it's so fast! He was waiting!
He does see it, so Miniorek gets himself back on the board, is starting the slow slog of dragging this match back from the brink. It's 2-5.
Yeah, 2-5, and Miniorek waited for Screw to display book etiquette. And this was not good book etiquette. Screw put this book back way too quickly. You need to do like 3 cycles at least when you're putting back this book. This is maybe 1, 2? 2's not enough, and it's just too quick for Miniorek, who immediately takes the shot.
I thought on putbacks it was 2 to 3 cycles.
It should be 3, I believe.
Okay.
It's definitely slower than what Screw displayed there.
This is very true. Either way, Miniorek on to the spy side. skrewwl00se on the sniper. Run it back in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yep. Going into early statues again did not really work out for us last time in Miniorek. Spinning the camera.
Spin! Not a happy camper, this man. But a couple of inspects is certainly not a bad way to open up a game.
Yeah, I mean, skrewwl00se doesn't highlight for inspects is the thing. So you're not picking up this kind of extra suspicion for doing these oh, what a bookcase redirect.
Good stuff. I'm a little bit surprised you didn't tuck in just a tad closer to the ambassador to maybe see if you could get an in-convo bug, but it didn't wind up happening this time around as we continue to spin.
Yeah, Miniorek, I don't know what's going through their head right now, but it's not all good things, as we do see that insta-flirt and leave.
34% off of the flirt, stepping away right afterwards.
Oh, white test microfilm.
Miniorek
We
is
do
starting
have
to
cover.
get a little bit bold. The head turn was visible and visible enough to take the shot. skrewwl00se on top of things gets himself to match point.
And that's not good. Miniorek needs 4 games in a row just to bring it to, overtime and to try to, just claw this back later on in the set. And skrewwl00se sitting comfortably needs 1 game. Pub 4 of 7 is certainly somewhere where you can just snipe a game for a victory. I would not be surprised if this set ends at a 7-4 scoreline, or 7-3 scoreline rather.
Absolutely. It's a mountain to climb. The next game is going to be the hard one, really, but you still got to get through the sniper side first if you're Miniorek against skrewwl00se's Spy on Pub 4 of 7 in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
A little bit of a weird bounce back into the bar there from skrewwl00se. There was no real obvious reason to do that. And it didn't look the best, but not really going to be put on the spot for it. Here comes the first flirt, 34% at Windows.
Barely comes off, but it is enough.
Just barely, but barely. Barely is good enough in this game. In fact, a lot of games are decided on very, very small margins. So, to steal a phrase from Track, who stole it from baseball or football or something like that, he's like, it's a game of inches, but SpyParty is a game of pixels, and in this case, milliseconds.
Looks like we're heading out to the double agent. It's a great time for it. Only a couple of lowlights available at this point if you want to take that. Oh, never mind. Immediately, as soon as I said it, like, the conversations just exploded.
Yeah, it's not ever fun as the spy to watch just, like, everyone leave right as you're about to contact. It's worse if you've already triggered this contact and suddenly everyone's leaving. But having that opportunity kind of melt away before you can be frustrating, but I don't think skrewwl00se is frustrated right now.
No, I don't think so at all. 68% after that second flirt on another white test, and we wind up back in conversation with the double agent. There's the contact coming off.
Oh, wow.
There's
Look
the
at that.
bug on the way around the outside as well, but it gets caught out by Miniorek. The shot comes off, and Miniorek does survive to snipe another day, but this is going to be the hard one.
You can't see my face, but like I've got this like big grin on my face because look at this timing. skrewwl00se's trying to use the chaos of Miniorek low lighting for this contact to find this bug, and it's a pretty nice bug even without that. But look at this. Look at how fast Miniorek takes these low lights. Contact, bam, 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 and is back to watching the party. skrewwl00se gets seen on the bug. It's a pretty good bug, but Miniorek is all over it. Just absolutely precise sniper play with his tournament life on the line. Very well done from Miniorek.
This man plays FPS games, I guarantee you. That was certainly some good low lighting as Miniorek, with his tournament life on the line, steps into pub 4 of 7. Skrewwl00se on the sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
What are you talking about? Your setting for SpyParty isn't a first-person shooter?
I mean, in the loosest sense of the phrase.
Wow, that bug! That bug!
Miniorek on the way out, that was beautiful, but gets highlight too.
He got but he got a delegate option there. It was a cheese delegate into bug, so even if we're a suspect for this bug, if we can get the delegate and Screw doesn't know we're at bar, we might get away with this.
Oh my god, these plays are incredible. There's the delegate.
Instant delegate, instant stop talk, so it doesn't even look like we even started the talk there. Miniorek just going ham. Back
if you're gonna get a game,
the wall.
If you're gonna get a game on the spy side of pub, this is how you do it. Now, is Skrewwl00se on top of this? There's the purloin.
There it is. When does
the reaction
Screw
you get
notice?
from Skrewwl00se?
And what happens when he does? Here's the highlight on the twin! The low light!
Right on Miniorek! It happened!
And Mini only needs flirt! And he is within one venue of drawing the set and bringing it to overtime!
Well, it's 4 of 7, so you need something else as well.
Oh,
as that,
right,
but
yeah,
there
it's
are
4.
statues available.
Look, there's contact, it's fine. 2 missions.
That's true.
I forgot this wasn't 3 or 5. I'm sorry, Miniorek got me too hype. Alright.
It's exciting stuff, though. There's the contact coming off, so now it's just the flirt. Couple more lowlights coming off, but did not know that Miniorek had a delegate available, and that's what winds up doing it. It doesn't matter if you almost catch that bug. If you think Miniorek is objectively clean.
Wow. And I don't see any universe in which Miniorek gets shot here. So
no, I don't think so either. As long as he finishes missions, that's all it's gonna take.
Oh god, but think about it. If you know he wins this game, it's 6-4. Without that miss shot on library, it's a tie set.
I know.
He was down 5-2 earlier, and has clawed this back 6-2, clawed it back to 6-4, and it should have been 5-5 maybe. Oh, what a tragedy!
There's the flirt. There's the game. There's the cough. To just let him know. What a game from Miniorek.
Wow. I mean, Miniorek's still in this because of this incredible play, but it has to hurt just a little bit deep in your soul, even as you win the game. But it comes down to the last venue, and it comes down to the question of, can Miniorek sweep this to save his tournament life?
It's Tan. This is doable.
It's absolutely doable. Skrewwl00se going to start it off with Smallman.
All right. Here we go. Smallman on the spy. Miniorek on the sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Oh.
All right. Can you shoot this tiny, tiny gentleman?
That's the question. And the weirdest thing on Tan, usually when you're going into a venue you need to sweep, you're worried about if you can get the spy win, but you might be more nervous about the sniper win here. It's Tan. It's hard to see things a lot of the time.
Especially Smallman.
And look at how many people are going to statues right now. Duke got center statues, 2 other highlights for statues, so much activity in this party, and we're Smallman.
yeah. This is definitely what you like to see when you're Skrewwl00se. Lots of people getting suspicion, and you are not one of them as of yet, in conversation with the double agent, but sort of waiting for people to settle the heck down before he tries anything. But instead of that happening, the double agent just bails.
I think it might be a little bit overzealous to say we're not getting suspicion. We passively gain suspicion on this venue as this character.
I mean, not if you're sort of standing out in the open and being visible, though. And that's exactly what Skrewwl00se was doing.
85% on the flirt, 2:15 left on the clock, so plenty of time to find missions here for skrewwl00se. But it's actually a little bit difficult. We do see how the shoji setups is sort of favoring Miniorek here. These setups where the first two are on the same side allow the sniper a much bigger corridor of visibility to look into the venue, and just makes it a lot less cramped in every sense of the word. So
seduction target bails on a flirt as well. But if you're going to have... Yeah, I think this might actually be like the worst possible shoji setup for skrewwl00se. But the rest of the party is being fairly kind to him, except for the seduction target just now.
You could argue that everything on the side of the books... yeah. Everything on the side of the books probably a little bit worse, just because of the visibility on the statue side.
Section target back into conversation. There's the flirt done, but only 1 minute and 10 left to play, and 3 more missions to get with no progress.
skreww's gonna have to do something, or not. It's Taeyen. Maybe we'll just see a shot come off onto an AI, but there has been no contact said, which can be pretty important. That said, skrewwl00se knows that there's no SD in his conversation, so this could be prime real estate for a flirt here.
It is certainly very possible. There's the contact coming off on a quick switch. No lowlights given up there. There's the bug on the way through. It was a pretty dang good one, but not good enough. Miniorek takes the shot. 1 more game to force overtime.
Oh my god. Spying on Taeyen for your tournament life after getting a miss shot to set you back so far. If Miniorek pulls this out, it would be the story of the quarterfinals. But skrewwl00se, despite the run Miniorek has made, is still on the driver's seat, still has that match point. If Skrew can find this bullet into Sari's skull, it's going to be over.
And yeah, I hate to keep bringing up that miss shot on skrewwl00se's juke on library, but this could be looking very different as Miniorek steps into the spy side to try to bring this to OT against skrewwl00se's sniper on Taeyen in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Oh man, Tobo. This set has been wild, and Miniorek was pretty visibly tilted. I'm really surprised and impressed.
Very visibly tilted.
Very visibly tilted, yes. I'm really surprised and impressed at the ability that Miniorek has shown to get, their mind back into the set and control games from here on out. Managed to sweep pub with a really nice chaos heads-up play, and is gotten within 1 game here. It's just been an impressive showing regardless of the outcome, but honestly, I hope that we go to overtime. I really do.
It's a good start. 51% on the flirt. A good position for a reverse drive-by if the ambassador cooperates, but he does not, so no right click is taken. 2 flirt in the books. That's a mission done already.
Yeah, 3 more to go. It's the easiest one, but it's also the one that can take a lot of time, and Bastard are gonna walk by us, not close enough to take a bug or anything. So
Miniorek playing this really slow, just hanging out in this conversation and trying to wait for the party to come to him.
By the way, remember how we mentioned last game how Skrew might have had like the second worst basically set up?
It's a white test.
It's a white test purloin!
Look at it. It's a highlight on Miniorek. Didn't get a look at the fade, but does see the list gone. This is terrible. It's all falling apart.
No, not now, Tobo. The shoji setup is only the only worse shoji setup than last game is this one. It's a fake contact, but the shot comes off anyways. No,
it doesn't matter.
Oh, what? skrewwl00se, you didn't need to bury my hopes and dreams like that. You didn't have any progress from this. In fact, both SDAs were out of conversation. Oh, that's so tragic.
It kind of looked like he might have gotten it. The ambassador, the double agent, did step in shortly after, but no, skrewwl00se was already on the shot by that point. I think he was just waiting for any excuse after that purloin, and he got it.
Man, what a tragedy for Miniorek. But for that missed shot, this match would be going to overtime. We'd have more to talk about, more intense SpyParty to see. But instead, what we have is our quarterfinalists. skrewwl00se, semifinalists rather. Semifinalists. It's the semifinals now. It's going to be skrewwl00se versus me, Opie Wrights, in one semifinal. And we'll have Urand versus T-Flame in the other. And to look at the semifinalists, it feels like a pretty normal field of players to see in the top 4, but of course that does not tell any of the story of this tournament. It's been crazy so far, crazier still this set. Thank you.
Hats off to Miniorek, by the way. He put on a hell of a game.
Yeah, and maybe if this Purloin had been a green test, we would have seen something more, but unfortunately, white test murders the spy.
That's going to be it for us today. Thanks a ton for everybody who came out to watch. It has been a pleasure. You have been watching SpyParty, for any of you who are yet unaware. If you are new to this game, you can get it from Steam or from SpyParty.com. If you get it from the website, you also still get a Steam key and access to the official forums. So there's some good stuff in there. I highly recommend it. If you play this game but have not been into the competitive scene yet, and if it's something you're interested in, there's always new tournaments coming and going, so join up in the Discord and just pay attention to things. There's a lot of great folks in there. It's going to be a good time. I guarantee it. Thanks a ton as well to Slappy Davis for hosting the first half of this, and Opie for joining me for the casting as well as hosting the second half.
Thanks for being here as well, Tobo. Always fun to have you on.
You're always welcome. It's been a great time. I hope you guys have had fun too, and until next week, have a great night.